we drove a few weeks ago, the 4-door one. This is the VTI-LX Civic hatch.
Okay.
Now, there's five altogether. There's a VTI, VTI S, VTI L, VTI L. God, I can't remember. Is that not just so confusing?
It loses me.
Anyway, so this is the top version. It's got all the good sports stuff in it. You know, it's lovely steering, nice suspension, incredibly good ride, I think.
Quiet.
Very quiet. Well, Honda have gone to a lot of trouble to put extra soundproofing in. These windows are thicker than the rear windows, so that the turbulence off the mirror doesn't let so much noise into the cabin, and I think it's really paid off.
My mother had a Honda Civic in 1972. Well, that was the model.
Yeah.
The first model.
Yep.
The
Yep.
SB1.
Yep.
A little 3-door.
I remember. Yeah, I remember them well.
Do you think they've come a little way since then?
Well, they've come a long way since then. Now, you'll probably remember that first Honda Accord, which is probably about this size.
Yeah.
And that was, it came out first in a 3-door hatch, and I thought that was the bee's knees, but it had that awful 2-speed Honda Matic or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was horrible. But this has got all the great stuff. It's got fabulous leather upholstery. Well, leather appointed upholstery, which means some of it is genuine, fake, simulated, man-made leather. Or we used to call it vinyl. But it's also got gadgets, and for a long time Honda was lagging behind in the technology and gadget department. So I've got this going. Now you can't just see, you can just see on the outside of the mirror there's a little aperture for a camera.
Right.
And when you turn your left-hand indicator on,
Oh yes, I like this.
there it is. That's the car coming up beside us. Now, that means, David, that we do not need blind spot monitoring on that side. But we do need it on that side. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, I'm going to get my phone out again and film this, is this car has CarPlay. And we did a short stint on that the other day in the Tiguan. Now, this lead goes all the way through there. Let me get down to the cubby hole. All the way through that little cubby hole, and then all the way down into the back. Can you see that, where that's plugged in?
I've been on my hands and knees trying to get that with the stopped with the door open in a garage.
You can't. I can't get into that. Look. I can't reach it. And the only way to do it from the other side is to, as you say, get down on your hands and knees. I think that it's like they've fallen over at the final hurdle. There's just not enough space in there to easily get in, and you've got to do it by feel. But if you could take this tray out, at least you could see what you're doing.
And it's got a nice digital speedo like that. It's not, I can't fault it in that sense, but it does look. This is all pretty flat and bland.
But
in
look,
my mind.
I'm going to record this again. Because I feel very strongly about this. You've got these things here, these plastic things. Just get rid of those and because they're all analog. Just get rid of this and have one big screen. That's already an LCD screen. Why do you need this bit of plastic and then another couple of dials?
Yes.
What's that all about?
Yes. Yeah.
What's that all about? You don't need that.
When I got in for the first time, you'd been in it with your music volume up high.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's your prerogative. How do I find the thing to turn it down?
It's there.
Yes. And
I'm on that one.
I want
that one.
I like a dial. Right?
Yeah, look, I must admit I prefer a dial too, and we're conditioned to go for a dial or a knob or a switch, whereas this one,
right,
there it is there.
I'm struggling. Oh, it's up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But you see, it doesn't do it easily. Right, look, I'm pressing the thing and it's not going up. Have I got to press it twice to go 1 bar?
Well, you can also do that.
Okay.
You know,
First time I get in the car,
but in order to get that up,
Mm.
you've got to press that. You see, then it disappears. But then, you know, you've also got maps and so forth in this, which, you know, I think is a great idea. I think they've pushed the boat out from the dock on the audio system, but it's still tied to a bollard.
Okay.
They haven't quite gotten there. So there is a few things, or there are a few things that I don't like. For example, I don't like the feel. So I don't like the feel of the gear selector. It just feels a little bit like hollow and cheap.
Okay. Yep. You like a very good knob.
I do like a good knob, but it's not just that. It's just that it feels a little bit chintzy, and the same for the switches. At first I thought, you know, it felt solid and quite good quality, and it is. It is a massive step up on the quality of the previous model and all previous models of Civics and even Accords. I just think that just feels a little bit nasty.
I've got to ask you, what do you think about the rear taillights?
At first I didn't like them at all. I didn't like them on the sedan. I didn't like them on the hatch. They've really grown on me, and I think basically because all it took was a little bit of getting used to. They're
distinctive. They're almost boomerang shape, aren't they?
Boomerang, and they stick out. So they stick out a long way from the bodywork, which, you know, I always thought was a little bit. I don't know, that it might be a little bit, you know, easily damaged. You're putting something in the boot. You could drop something on the taillight maybe, or, you know, on the top of the taillight. But everyone's doing it now, so you're not going to get away with it. The same as the headlights coming up and onto the bonnet.
Okay.
You know, along the side of the fender. These headlights I like very much. This is the one that has the multi-LED headlights.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which, gee, I think looks really smart. So the bit of the outside I really didn't like, and I still don't, but I can live with it, is the little kink just at the back of the rear door. It sort of goes along like that, and then there's a little kink.
Okay.
Goes up.
It just doesn't appeal.
No, well, it's...
Does it look a bit contrived, or...?
Well, do you know what it reminds me of?
Hmm?
The infotainment system in those Jaguars. You know, that drives me bananas?
Oh.
You know, with the rounded...
It's not square.
The rounded bits at the top, and then the chevron bit at the bottom. You know what I mean? They've gone along and they've put something in to annoy me. And they've done it on purpose. And you mark my words, that designer is laughing at me now. He's looking at us in this car, and he's laughing.
He's looking at you.
Well, he's probably looking at us both and laughing, but not for the reason.
He's laughing for different reasons.
Yeah, he's laughing at us, not with us. But so there are a couple of things that I dislike, but I do like the pickup. It's not as powerful as the one in the CRV, but it is the same engine.
Oh, is it? Okay. A little noisy when we revved it, but I didn't think it was too bad. Again, for this type of car,
Yeah.
for where we're...
Well, this is the top of the line, right? Which I don't quite understand. I would have thought the RS, the sporty one, I would have thought that would have been the top of the line. But this has more stuff in it. So there you go. What do you think?
Well, it got roofs and all that sort of stuff.
So I think the thing about all of these cars is that they've come a long way over a relatively short period of time. Honda were a little bit starved of funds in the era of the GFC, and it took them a long time to recover. And I think they have recovered. I think they'd come back. This car handles beautifully. It really is very nippy. The value's not bad. You know, they start at not that much above $20,000 ish, and they pick up where their lower models left off. But I think what they've really strived to do, or strived to do, is make it appeal to a wider audience. Yes, it's a sensible shoe, as you quite rightly point out, but it's a sensible shoe that's worth the money. And the sedan has already done great things for Honda. I think this will continue that trend.